safe to say this kind of went to script for you? You wanted to keep it close, kind of get your legs, and then establish yourself, or maybe make a push in the third period. Is that how it played out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a layoff, and again, you guys are asking me, what do you expect? I don't know. I mean, you have your concerns and what you can do in 4 days of practice, and knowing that they had played, you could tell they had played, and there's certainly a lot of rust, and making plays under pressure. And that was we talked about as a staff. Just if we can just keep this close and get our legs underneath us and try and find some juice here. Getting the second goal at the beginning of the second was good. I think it gives you a cushion, right? Again, I still don't think we were playing great, but guys were trying. It just was hard to get anything going really offensively. So by the third there, I thought we finally found a little pace to our game, some competitiveness, which was lacking in the first two periods, and thought we played a much better third and overtime.
Yeah, Patrick was saying that among his pleas to get into the lineup was the promise to you that it would be worth it. So I have to ask, was it worth it for you to get him in there tonight?
Yeah, me and him have had a lot of conversations lately, and he's dying to play, and like I told him, I said, I'm not playing you because I'm trying to punish you here. I want you to succeed here. When he's played, skated 6 or 7 times in 8 weeks. That's not a lot. But we did get these 4 practices. When we first started talking, it was going to be 1 practice and then trying to get in the game, and that just wasn't enough for me. But we got 4 good team practices in, which I think, he came to me the day before the game, and he said it. He goes, I won't let you down, and he didn't. I'm really proud of him because this kid's been through a lot this year. He has, and he had a heck of a game for a guy who hasn't played. He had a great work ethic all game. I thought he's strong on the pucks. Man, he had the game on a stick there a few times in the third and overtime especially. So, yeah, really happy for him. He was dying to play, and he played a heck of a game.
He talked about the emotional attachment that this game had to him. Did he voice that to you as well, how meaningful it was for him to get out there?
Well, I don't think he has to voice it. I think, Patty loves to play hockey. He does. He watches a ton of hockey. He eats, breathes, and sleeps hockey. He knows stats and the whole league and what's going on. He's a guy who really kind of studies the league, and that's been a big part of his life. So, with what he's gone through the injury and his father, and I have no doubt that this was an emotional game for him, and really happy for him.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Okay, we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, hey Lars. Texier comes up with another big goal for you in the third period there. It seems like he was around the puck quite a bit tonight as well, and then obviously the shootout move. How far has he come from the beginning of the season, do you feel?
Sorry, you cut out there. You're asking me how far has he come since the beginning of the season?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think, I've said it. He's calmed his mind down a bit. It's never been a work ethic thing, and it's never been a desire or a lack of competitiveness with him. He's always had a really good skill set. I think the one thing he had there in the first few years was it was really forced. It didn't come naturally. He was very jittery with the puck. And this year you can see he's got a calm with it. He's trusting his shot. He's trusting the next play. He's always had legs, but now he's kind of putting the two together. And you start putting it in the net, and you take a breath. And it's good to see him now. He's skating with the puck. He's not losing it. He's making the right play. Even on the 2-on-1 there, I would love to see him shoot there right before they scored their second goal. But he makes a good pass. Now, Curl should have shot for sure, but he makes the right play there. I think he could have shot, but he makes a good play. So his game is coming. It's there's still lots of room for growth for me, but there's something to be excited about there. And production's great. I think his details can get a little bit tighter, but there's a willingness, and he wants to be coached. He wants to play a well-rounded game, and he's playing penalty kill, and he's doing a lot of things for us that are real important to our team.
Yeah. Shootout also, he unveiled that move last year. to the amazement of everybody pretty much. And then he pulls it off Sunday, I believe, when you guys had the fun shootout at practice, and now again today. I guess your thoughts on that kind of movement and the kind of skill it takes to be able to get that past NHL goalies so often.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get a third one. I really don't. I think goalies watch video too, so this might be 2 and done. I don't know if you'll get a third, but I'll never say never. It's a confident move. He trusted, obviously. He's done it in practice. You know, we worked on the shootout a few times here in these 4 days, just in case we got to this scenario. You know, and he pulled it off in the shootout. And he's doing it in front of, 18,000 people and doing it with confidence. So, you know, good on him. It's not an easy move either. I'm sure kids will be trying that now to see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, for sure.
Might even get it named after him. I don't know. Maybe someone else has done it, but he might get called the Tex. I'm not sure.
Yeah, possibly. I asked him if he had a name. He said no for that move. There were other games. Obviously, I think you watched Nashville last night. There's other teams that played before you guys. A lot of those games looked really rough. You know, a lot of defensive stuff because teams are off for so long, and we've been talking about it all week.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, I know you didn't like the first 2 periods necessarily. The third period was better, but in general, it's a 4-3 game. It's not like it got out of hand or anything. Just in general, are you kind of happy with the way things went tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you get the win, you're happy. Obviously, if you don't get the extra point, you might be not as happy. You know, I don't think there's any surprise in how this game went and what it was, you know, what we were hoping for. We kept it close, and that was the big thing is keeping the game within reach here to hopefully find enough time to kick the rust off, find your legs. And I felt like in the third we had a little bit of some rhythm there, and you know, we looked better with the puck. We were a little bit more crisp. We were harder to play against. It started to come, and I'm telling you, in this building, our fans are so good. They give energy to our guys. They do it. It was funny, even at the beginning of the game, they were quiet. You know, it was a full house, but it seemed like a really quiet. We haven't played many home games, so first of all, you got to give them something to cheer about, and we didn't give them a lot to cheer about other than the goal there early. But you could tell by the third they're in it, and just energized our group. It's such an important element at home that we lacked last year, and you miss, and that's the fun part about being here in this building is what these fans can do for this group.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll go to Jeff Swoboda. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Lars. Obviously, you know, we've talked about all this time missed, and you know, it's got to be hard to kind of get back up for these games, and we're missing so many guys as well. You know, you take out a guy like Bjorkstrand, Robinson. You got all these situations going on where so much is swirling around. Then you get into a game. Do you just like the way this team kind of stuck with it? Maybe the way that, you know, for everything that's been thrown at you guys over this last little bit, that they were able to stick with it and win a game? Yeah,
there's certainly a little bit of adversity hitting our team, and we're not alone. There's other teams going through it too. They were missing some key guys too. You know, Yossi's a pretty good defenseman that they were missing. So you can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. No one does, and you got to go play. And some guys are getting more opportunities. Some guys are getting more responsibility. Some guys are getting in the lineup that maybe you wouldn't have got in. So, you know, when you want to play and you're dying to play, you better show you can play. And you know, you hope that that's what drives the guy. You know, this group, they like each other. They play hard. You know, so there's more adversity coming too. We're at game 29. There's going to be a lot more ahead of us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, and we'll finish off with Backwood and Portsline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Brad, real quick again on Texier, if I may. Would it be out of line to say he's been your best forward for the last month or so? And is that something, if that's how you feel, is that something you thought could be possible at the start of this season?
Yeah, well, we had a rough month. You know, it wasn't a great month, and then we had 2 weeks off, so I'd have to, you know, he's been, I'll say this, he's been very consistent. And, you know, we had him in a role there early, and we're kind of bouncing around with center and playing with different guys. And, you know, I give a lot of credit to Curls and Robbie. They're pretty north-south guys. They don't overcomplicate things most night. And Tex fit in really well with that group. and they provided some really good games for us, for some consistent games, some scoring, some punch, but taking on really hard assignments. I think that helped him just settle in a little bit and maybe not overthink things or press too much offensively. He just kind of fell himself a role. We talked a little bit about it, and it's funny when you quit thinking about or pressing for the goals and you just simplify your game. And he had a little bit of chemistry with those guys. I would agree with that, probably to a certain degree. He's been consistent, and you love to see him get rewarded and, just build that confidence, because I think there's a lot left in him as far as what he could be.